Exactly 11 years ago, and coincidentally on Tuesday, September 11, 2001, Americans and the rest of the world woke up to the news and reality of coordinated terror attacks on the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York. After those destructions came the heightening of America's security standards and the reconstruction of the 16-acre World Trade Center complex with a memorial to immortalize the victims.
It's been 11 years since the attacks on the World Trade Center in New York. And here we are at the 9/11 Memorial. And behind me here is one of the two reflecting pools built on the exact spot where the Twin Towers stood. It may interest you to know that since the opening of this memorial in September 11 last year, it has received over 4 million visitors from all around the world. These are not only family members of the victims, but people who wish to know where that tragedy actually occurred.
They all want to come and bear witness. Many people will touch the site, touch the memorial, touch a name, even if they didn't know the name of the person whose name they're touching. And so this has obviously touched a deep chord in the public at large.
Dan Perla works in Manhattan, and he was at his office that fateful morning.
I worked in the stock market in the finance world, so it was just after, not long after Labor Day weekend, things were starting to pick up again. And I remembered being at my desk by approximately 8:30 when shortly thereafter a news blurb hit the news tape, which I was following, that a plane had struck the World Trade Center. And it looked, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of their knowledge, that a very small plane had hit. And we all assumed at that point that it was simply an accident, that somehow a plane had gone into the towers. But it was strange that on such a beautiful, clear day, a plane could have gone into the towers. When all of a sudden we saw that second plane, the shadow of that second plane hit the towers. And after that, we understood what had transpired.
The National 9/11 Memorial is fast becoming a place of religious pilgrimage and holy site of some sort that many Americans want to visit.
Our grandparents, our parents had Pearl Harbor, which was kind of their touchstone in terms of America being attacked. And my generation, I'm the baby boomer generation, I guess this will be our touchstone as to what seared our memories about our national conscience and the problems in the world today and how overwhelming they are.
I have a visual of those two tall towers here and how they dominated the landscape. And for many years there was that void. I think this beautiful tower to my back will fill some of that void. It's just majestic and splendid. But I feel as if it were 11 years ago when those towers hit.
For Greg Bellama's family, visiting from Cincinnati, Ohio is very emotional.
Well, this is our first time in New York City, and the first place that we wanted to visit was the memorial, mainly because it's a historic site. Most of our older kids have lived through this. The images that I have from watching it on TV, and I can tell you exactly where I was at in my office when it happened. We tried to get on the internet was froze. Just the mayhem, not knowing what had happened that day, and just a scared feeling. So to be here now and just to know and see the names on the walls and see these two fountains, it's very emotional, really.
Lizette and Sergio, with their two daughters, are here from Monterrey, Mexico, to commiserate with the Americans.
This place brings a lot of memories from what we watched on TV back then, and we were wanting to see what it looks like now, and just kind of remind how many people died here, and get the feeling of what the U.S. society feels.
Ignatius Udo Adanga was one of the 3 Nigerians that died in the attacks and has his name engraved on one of the reflecting pools. And here we have the only tree that survives that destruction. 5 new buildings are currently being built on 8 acres of land to spread the density of the 2 former towers, and the remaining 8 acres now houses the memorial.
We hope that this is a meaningful memorial, certainly for the families, the people who knew them, and for the public at large. Nothing can replace the lost lives, of course, but it's very important to remember who they were and what they died for, and of course to carry on with the lives that they were living in the same manner that they lived them.
As the whole world remembers that day, the prayers on the lips of many is that such tragedy doesn't reoccur. Henry Ogunjimi, Channels Television News.